the next module, we'll discuss questions that you should prepare for yourself to ask your interviewer and why these questions are so important. Let's get going. We've talked about questions you might get, but you need to be prepared for questions you want to ask. Let's discuss the questions that you need to prepare for your interviewer. You may be formally asked for some questions. Your interviewer may say, well, do you have any questions for me? Then you certainly should be prepared. Or the interviewer won't give you a formal invitation, in which case you should try to place your questions during the course of the discussion where they best fit. Over my many years of interviewing people, I always asked whether people had questions for me. And maybe 90 to 95% of the time, people did not have questions. They would say something like, well, we'll see how in the course of the interview, if there's something I want to ask about, I'll ask. So one way of differentiating yourself from your competition, the other people who are coming into this interview, is by having good questions to ask. Like with preparing for the interview by doing research, having good, thought-provoking, well-thought-out questions says something about you, about your thought process. What's important to you? Did you sit and prepare and think about what you would like to know? That sends a good message. And of course, you want to ask questions because you want to know whether this is the right job and the right career for you. And if the interviewer hasn't touched on the points that are important to you, you need to ask about it. So the question should be a thought-provoking one. Reflects well on you, not, well, what's the time frame for vacations and how long do I get for lunch? That's not sending the right message. So some of these questions I'll go through very quickly or I might skip over. I'm going to touch on a couple that I think are important. You need to find questions that you're comfortable asking as well. All right. One question you might ask to get a better clarification of what is expected from you is, what are the 3 tasks you want me to perform? You might want to learn about the culture. There are other ways of asking about it, but this one, why did you choose this company and why do you like working here? Is there room for growth and advancement? Now that would be the question ending there that many people would ask, but you're not asking that part of the question. The second part relates to the why of our SAY. Is there room for growth and advancement in recognition of my success in the job? You are showing your confidence that you're going to be successful, and you're understanding as well that growth, advancement, promotions, bonuses come from success in the job, not by just hanging around for a number of years and not getting fired. I like this question. Number 4, what advice you received when you started working would you share with me? Where do you think this company will be in 5 to 10 years? That touches on your interest of long-term career. Where is this company going? Now, the company is not going to tell you some of their confidential strategic business plans, but just some ideas of maybe what their markets might be or expansion. That would be important for you if you're looking for opportunities to advance and grow in a company. Other opportunities for professional training and further education indicates your interest in doing your job better. Again, why do you want this training and education? Not so that you could be better prepared to go get a job somewhere else, but that you can be more effective and productive employee in this company. You'd like to know a little bit about their evaluation programs. You might ask about how you get evaluated. Culture of the organization, very important. I'm sure the interviewer, when the interviewer is speaking with you, wants to get an idea of, are you going to fit within this company and its culture? Some of the cultures are very team-oriented culture as opposed to one where people tend to work very individually. Is it a culture that's very friendly and supportive where people are open to sharing? Is it a team-oriented culture, so you're likely to be part of a team? Job responsibility is not mentioned in the ad. I'm not sure if this is the greatest question, but it's one you might want to consider if that's important to you. If you would like to perhaps get involved in other types of work beyond what's mentioned in the job advertisement. Mentoring program and volunteering program, interest in doing more within the company and simply getting your job done. What do you expect me to accomplish short term and long term? This is actually my favorite question because my goal, and I think any employee's goal who's oriented towards success, is exceeding expectations, doing more than what's expected of you. If you do that, whether in your personal life or in your business life, you are on the way to success. Do more than what people expect. So you're asking for a baseline. What's your expectation? Because you want to exceed what those expectations are. You want to accomplish more than what people expect. If you accomplish what people expect, then you're average. But you don't want to be average. That's not enough for you. You want to exceed expectations. When will you be making a decision on a successful candidate? This is the question you need to ask on the way out of the interview. If you're not told what the decision is, they won't make the decision to hire you or not hire you right then. And they say, okay, we'll get back to you. That's not enough. I'll be talking about this in a little bit more detail, but you need to learn to know more, and we'll talk about why you need to learn more. May I call you if other questions arise? This is an opportunity to find out how open and supportive the organization is. If you could imagine asking your interviewer this question and the interviewer says, well, no, I'm very busy, please don't call. I don't think that's the kind of organization that you want to join. So it's a good question to flesh that particular issue out. It also gives you an opportunity to ask for contact information. If you're asked to meet with other people in the organization during the course of the interview, and you really just met them the first time when someone brought you over to speak with them, and you're not even sure what their name is and how to spell it right, and what their title is, and email, etc. So if you ask this question, may I call you if there are other questions? Then the person may say, sure, give me a call. May I have your business card? That's how you follow up. And now you have the person's contact information so you can follow up and send your thank you note, which we'll be talking about. An important fact that you need to be ready for is that the interviewer may flip your question. And if you are ready for that, you can hit a home run. You could really make an impressive response. Now, what do I mean by flipping? The question that you asked is a question that they turn back to you. So if you asked, for example, uh, what is the culture of your company? They may come back and say, well, what kind of culture do you like? What culture would be one that you would be looking for in your employer? So now it's your question to ask. If you would ask about the skills necessary to succeed in the job, then they may come back, well, what do you think the skills are to be successful? So now it's your question to respond. And if that particular question got thrown back to you, you'd be really happy because you have developed your skills list from the inventory, the critical success skills inventory that we discussed earlier. So you would come right back with those skills and responding to that question if it was flipped to you. And then you would also obviously add that those are the skills that you have and you're confident that you would bring to the job.